The landscape of California, a tapestry woven from towering redwoods and sun-drenched valleys, is under threat. Wildfires, once a natural part of this ecosystem's cycle, have become increasingly intense and destructive. The very air, once vibrant and clear, is now often choked with smoke, a visible reminder of the devastation. This isn't merely a story of flames and destruction, it's a tale of interconnectedness, where the fate of nature and humanity are intertwined. A complex interplay of climate change and human activity has created a tinderbox-like environment. Rising temperatures, prolonged droughts, and the accumulation of dry brush create perfect conditions for these infernos to ignite and spread with terrifying speed. The consequences, as we shall see, are far-reaching, impacting not only the environment but also the economy, public health, and the social fabric of communities. Join us now as we delve into the heart of this crisis, examining the devastating effects of California wildfires. We must understand this growing threat to stand a chance of protecting this beautiful, vital part of our world. Imagine a wildfire sweeping through a dense forest. The flames, reaching hundreds of feet into the air, consume everything in their path. Trees that have stood for centuries, some older than the very idea of America itself, are reduced to smoldering skeletons. The delicate balance of these ancient ecosystems is shattered. The impact on wildlife is profound and heartbreaking. Countless creatures, from deer and mountain lions to the smallest insects, lose their homes and their lives. Some species already struggling for survival are pushed closer to the brink of extinction. The once thriving tapestry of life is left tattered and torn, and the devastation doesn't end there. The smoke, a dense and acrid haze, billows into the atmosphere, carrying with it toxic particles. These microscopic invaders infiltrate the lungs of animals and humans alike, triggering respiratory illnesses and exacerbating existing conditions. Forests play a crucial role in regulating our planet's climate. They act as massive carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing it within their trees and soil. But when these forests burn, that stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere, accelerating the very process of climate change that intensifies wildfires in the first place. It's a vicious cycle. A warming climate leads to more frequent and severe droughts, creating perfect conditions for wildfires. These fires then release even more carbon dioxide, further warming the planet and fueling the cycle anew. The consequences are far-reaching, impacting weather patterns, ecosystems, and human societies around the globe. As we witness the increasing intensity and frequency of these fires, we're reminded of the urgent need to address climate change. We must reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, invest in renewable energy sources, and protect our remaining forests. The economic toll of California wildfires is staggering. Every year, billions of dollars are poured into combating these infernos, funds that could be used for education, healthcare, or other vital services. And that's just the beginning. The destruction of homes and businesses leaves countless families and individuals facing financial ruin. The loss of property, livelihoods, and irreplaceable memories takes a devastating emotional toll. Communities are torn apart as residents are forced to relocate, often starting over from scratch. Agriculture, a cornerstone of California's economy, also suffers immensely. Wildfires scorch valuable farmland, destroying crops and livestock. The impact on food production is felt not only within the state but across the country. The most immediate and visible health hazard from wildfires is the smoke that blankets vast swaths of the state. This thick haze, laden with microscopic particles, poses a serious threat to respiratory health. For those with asthma, emphysema, or other respiratory conditions, the smoke can trigger severe attacks, leading to hospitalizations and even death. But the health impacts extend far beyond respiratory illnesses. The stress of evacuation, the trauma of losing one's home and possessions, and the uncertainty of the future take a heavy toll on mental health. Rates of anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder skyrocket in the wake of wildfires. Children are particularly vulnerable to the effects of wildfire smoke and the stress of displacement. These events can have long-lasting impacts on their physical and emotional development. The ferocity of California wildfires can cripple essential infrastructure, further compounding the challenges of response and recovery. Power lines weakened by heat and flames can snap, plunging communities into darkness. This loss of electricity disrupts daily life, hampers firefighting efforts, and can have life-threatening consequences for those reliant on medical equipment. Transportation routes, crucial for evacuation and the delivery of supplies, can be severed by wildfires. Roads and highways become impassable, choked with debris and menaced by flames. This isolation hinders access for emergency responders and delays the delivery of vital aid to affected communities. Water systems, already strained by drought conditions, can be further compromised by wildfires. The loss of vegetation can lead to erosion and sedimentation in water sources, impacting water quality and availability for drinking and irrigation. Imagine being forced to flee your home in the dead of night, the glow of flames painting the sky an eerie orange. This is the reality for thousands of Californians every year as wildfires rage across the state. The mass displacement of residents creates a humanitarian crisis, overwhelming shelters and stretching resources thin. Families huddled together in temporary shelters face an uncertain future. The loss of their homes and belongings weighs heavily on their minds. Children separated from their familiar routines and surroundings struggle to cope with the trauma of displacement. The long-term consequences of this displacement are profound. Rebuilding lives and communities takes time, resources, and an unwavering spirit. Even after the flames are extinguished, the scars of displacement can linger for years. The story of California wildfires is not just a regional crisis, it's a stark warning to the world. The increasing frequency and intensity of these fires, fueled by climate change and human activities, threaten not only the Golden State but the delicate balance of our planet. This is a call to action, a plea for global cooperation and individual responsibility. We must act now, with urgency and determination to mitigate the risks and adapt to this new reality. We must invest in wildfire prevention and management strategies, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and create more resilient communities. This requires collaboration between governments, local communities, scientists, and individuals. The future of California, and indeed the planet, depends on the choices we make today. Let us choose to protect our forests, our communities, and our shared future. Let us choose to be stewards of this planet, not spectators to its destruction.